So as the next talk is in English, the introduction is gonna be in English. So Arthur is gonna to present us a city that has been described by Anthony Kiedis in the song "Under the Bridge" as his only friend. So I'm very curious to know more about Los Angeles expectation versus reality.
Thank you. Okay, so first, maybe you're wondering why I'm doing this talk. Even the title of the talk is a bit enigmatic. I didn't know what to put, so I figured out I'd do something very YouTube-like for the title. Um, so why I'm talking about Los Angeles first is because most of the time when I'm talking to people that have been there for holidays, for example, they're very disappointed for the city. The classic phrase or answer that I have is, I preferred San Francisco, for example. And Los Angeles is not my favorite city in the world, but it has a special place in my heart because I've been there a couple times. First time for holiday with my parents when I was a teenager. Then I went back to it in high school for a student exchange in an high school, Arcadia High School, which is more in the east part of Los Angeles. And the third time for studying at university um, at University of Los Angeles, California, for 1 year. So that's why um, leaving all those things, also going for holiday is not the same as kind of living in a city. So the presentation is here to like what people usually go for when they go to Los Angeles compared to what I've really enjoyed there, and maybe what you, if you plan to go there, or if you have friends, family who plan to go there, what you could do instead. Um, Before talking about what you could do and what people do, I also wanted to talk about some cliches of the United States and Los Angeles. So yeah, um, pretty cool city, pretty big city actually. Going from one place to another. Forget about your bicycle. Not possible in Los Angeles mostly. You take a taxi for everything. Um, so first, um, it's yeah, it's probably going to be a little bit. There's also some nostalgia in it because it was a really good time. But I wanted to talk about university in the US because it was really interesting to see what we have in series or movies, and what is really into the university. Honestly, UC is it's a crazy experience. If you know people who can go there, um, let them go. It's really cool. It's huge, um, and it opens a lot of stuff because in the US, so university is crazy expensive. It's not a new thing, but it opens a lot of stuff, a lot of clubs, a lot of activities that you can do, and all those stuff are actually pretty cheap, which is good because you pay a lot for the year, so that's fine. But for example, I joined, so there's like a day after the first day of school, there's like a day where everyone is like sponsoring their club. So the whole campus is filled with people with a booth and saying, "Yeah, go to my club, go to the basketball team, go to the," and there's a club for everything. There's a club for people who love DJs, for people who love one DJ. There's a club for that. For yeah, there was a club for Marshmallow, for example. It's like okay. Um, and so I joined the sports club. I love basketball, but I figured out going to UCLA as a basketball team, I'm gonna be ridiculous. So no way. And I went to the water ski team and wakeboard team, and it was amazing because you get to be with locals and like you it's like being in a sport club in France. So you do like a competition on the weekend. You go, I've been to Sacramento with them, I've been to San Diego, in random places just to compete. and yeah, just for free because you don't pay to get into the club. And then there's like a couple of other stuff. There's a ton of facilities you can go. You can do swimming, you can do like gym and everything for like I think it was $50 every quarter. So it's nothing compared to what we have here, for example. So yeah, a crazy place to do, beautiful buildings for this university in particular. And so there's also stuff in the university. And one thing when I arrived, I lived in a dorm in a very cool area. It was filled um, with fraternity houses. So I was like, well, I'm in the US in a university. I might as well join a frat. Um, and they all have like crazy houses. It's really amazing, and it looks actually like in the movies. They're always partying. They're always half naked and doing stuff, gym on the sidewalk or stuff like that. But there's a couple stuff that I didn't know about fraternities that are quite interesting. So the real goal of being in a frat is to have kind of, they said, like a family, and people like alumni that you can connect to in the professional world after. Um, so they only want the best, actually. So it's very elite, and you only have, like, it's expensive to go into, so you have to pay a fee every month. So it's a spoiler, I didn't do any frat. It's expensive. You have to be top of your class. So, for example, if you get like a C in one of your exam, you're out of the frat. So they're always partying. They're doing like crazy stuff, but they're all at least a little bit brilliant and rich. So yeah, that was the funny stuff. There's also sorority for women, which is completely different. Women can't go out after a certain hour. It's very like very how do you say that, like a kind of traditional old fashioned compared to the guys. But yeah, very fun to see. Very hard to get in. Never been to a frat party because they only accept women and frat guys. So yeah. um, that was actually pretty funny. Next cliche is the food. So yeah, for the US, we always talk about fast food and all that stuff. To be honest, in California, it's probably the states, the most like European state. The governor is a Democrat. They love healthy food. They love sports. They love all that stuff. So it's quite actually easy to get nice food. It's also very easy to get fast food, actually. But the reason why people eat so much fast food is it's super cheap. So getting good food is quite expensive, at least in Los Angeles, but in the US overall. So yeah, it's not as bad as you can think. You can eat healthy in the US as well. In Los Angeles, it's pretty easy in California to get real food. Um, Healthcare. So I have a little story about this one. I had a friend. He was doing. Uh, I should have looked it up online before saying this, but roller. So it was like skating, basically. And and he fell doing like some freestyle stuff, and he broke a bone. And he was very glad he had a private insurance because it's at least $1,000 just to sleep in a hospital without any treatment, just to sleep in one night in a hospital. So he had like 10,000 or 12,000 to pay for his stuff, and the insurance took almost care of everything. So if you go even for holiday, take a cheap insurance. There's plenty of stuff now online. You can go, like, I think we do like Shapka or stuff like that. You can check online. There's free stuff or cheap stuff, I would say. But also there's another thing on the cliches is like in the US, it's always smell weed, always in the streets. That's something that really in California, it drives me crazy a little bit because every time someone passes by my window over the door, it smells weed all the time because it's so easy to get. You have a headache? Don't worry, you can take some. You have a stomachache? Okay, take some. And so it's the same thing as smelling cigarettes in France, but instead it's weed. It's very for people who don't like it, it's very bothering. For others, probably it's heaven. But yeah, some people will like it, I guess. Um, Another one is gangs. Los Angeles is known for raps, Dr. Dre. You might have seen this movie, Get Out of Compton. Uh, I also have a story about this one. It's actually when I was in student exchange in high school, the big brother of one of the students we were living at, he told us, "Yeah, I do this party at a friend's house. Want to go?" Of course, we wanted to go, so we went, and it was in a very disturbed area, and we just had a couple drinks and playing stuff, and then we ended up outside laughing and yeah, playing games, kind of. And there's this random guy coming. It was like I felt like I was in GTA 5, and this guy comes on his bicycle, tattooed everywhere, and all of a sudden everyone panicked around us. And the big guy from the house we were partying to, he like went out to get us in. All the houses had like a kind of a prison door in the front. So if you're in an area and every house has a prison door, probably not a safe area. And yeah, they're really not playing. You should really be careful if you want to see like I would say Inglewood or Campton, some very risky area. You never know on who you're gonna end up facing. I also heard, I never lived it, but I heard a story, a guy I knew who he ended up insulting someone. He was a little bit drunk on partying, and the guy in front of him just pulled up a gun and told him to repeat, or something would happen. And yeah, so very be careful. It's cool to see it in a movie. It's not cool to live it. Honestly, it ended the party as soon as it happened, and it's really not only in the movies. It really existed still. So yeah, be careful about that. All right, then now I'm going to talk about what I think is cool to see and what I think is cool to visit, and maybe also why people are disappointed going to Los Angeles. I guess most of the time people go to Hollywood Boulevard, um, looking at the star on the sidewalk. Venice Beach. I love Venice Beach, by the way, but only during the day. Don't go at night. Not a safe place. And so Santa Monica Pier, or things like this. Um, it's cool, but there's so much more you could do. I think it's such a big city. You should not go um, to see places, but to live experiences. It's very philosophical when I say it, but I try to put stuff for everyone. But there's really cool landscape around Los Angeles, so you have like good point of views inside Los Angeles. Like Griffith Observatory is a good one. I think there's the Getty Museum. They are mostly inside the city for a view of the city. But if you go a little bit further and you go to Santa Barbara, for example, I've done some really cool hikes in Santa Barbara. It's not far, and when you go out of Los Angeles, it's very big. But when you go out, you're really quickly into nature, and so you have really cool stuff. If you prefer nature, well, I guess you wouldn't go to Los Angeles because it's a it's a very big city. But you can have some very cool. Also, there's a lot of canyons and cool parks around a little bit further, but you could go to like Zion, or it's probably closer to Las Vegas. But yeah, um, there are some cooler walks to do. Um, Cinema, it's a very good one because I never do that when I travel elsewhere. But in Los Angeles, there's a ton of stuff you could do around cinema. So this is Warner Bros. Studios. You can visit Warner Bros. Studios. I've done it. It's pretty cool. It's like a guide tour of some stuff. There's also Universal Studio that which is very famous. It's like a park, but there's also studios you can visit, kind of. But there's also some stuff that are really not known. Uh, and For example, I had friends in Los Angeles that were studying acting, so they were into all the stuff for cinema. And there's some newsletter to get into premiere movie, um, and this is actually pretty cool to do. So I've done one. It wasn't like a big premiere for big stars and everything, but it was something inside Universal Studios theater of the studio, and they were like filming our faces and like getting our emotions watching the movie, just to know if they were transmitting the good emotion to to the public. But the funny part is that when this ended, so they just tell you, yeah, that's done. You can go out the studios and stuff. But we actually didn't go out, and we just walked around the studios of Universal, and they were like filming, for example, The Voice US at the time. They were filming some movies, so well, you don't go into, um, I would say, do I have like, yeah, those stuff, because if someone sees you and you're not supposed to be here, it's gonna end up bad. But you can like work around, go see places, go see movie yeah, decorations and things like this. It's really fun. It's really good. It's something you will not see in a classic guide tour of the studio. It's a little bit um, not legal, I would say, but it's fun to do. You don't risk a lot to do it. And for other premiere, it's also really cool because there are very good, very famous theaters. So you go, you see the movie in a premiere, and then there's the after party. And the after party for movie premiere are pretty cool. You get to meet crazy people, um, and it's usually in nice places. So yeah, really, really a good activity to do. Um, yeah, next is comics. So I love comics. I used to go get comics in the comic shop all the times. And when I was there was the Comic Con in Los Angeles. So I took tickets. Honestly, pretty cool stuff to do as well. I mean, it's like going, I guess, to Japan Expo or other kind of those events, but again, it's very American, so it's very they put a lot of stuff into it. So it was pretty fun. I get to see all the actors from The Flash, the series, and I got to see also Stanley, which is pretty cool. I've met it twice actually. Also at university, he came to university telling a story um, about how he created Spider-Man. Um, so fun fact, if you don't know, Spider-Man is born not from a spider but from a fly. So in his office, he had pressure to find a new superhero. There was a fly in the office crawling the wall, and so he figured out that could be fun that a superhero could crawl the walls. But then having a superhero as a fly was kind of not very sexy. So figured out, okay, I'll make it more badass and create like a spider. It's more That's more fun. So yeah, it was pretty cool. If you like comics, there's a ton of other events like this. You can go to. Also, there's a video game events like this. I went to see also a League of Legends match, a game there. It's inside Riot Games offices, so then you go there. They have like the arena and stuff. It's pretty cool as well. So yeah, look up for big events like this if you go there, because I guess it's like Paris. It's such a big city that there's always something to do. Um, and so good transition for the next one because there's always concerts. Um, I I haven't checked if that's still the case, but when I was there during the summer, there's free concert on the Santa Monica Piers, and they have like a big stage, almost as big as the one in the picture. And there's I've seen Le Maître, which is a group from Belgium. They were playing there. It's totally free, so pretty cool. And there's a lot of music event. I've been to like a Daft Punk tribute, so it wasn't the real Daft Punk, but it was like two DJs playing stuff like them, and yeah, it was pretty amazing. So if you like music, check it out because there's always big events like this, and it's not always expensive. Honestly, and yeah, also nightlife. So I'm not a very big club uh, enthusiast, but nightlife is pretty wild as well. I've done a couple of for example for Halloween we went to a couple of nightclubs. Pretty cool, pretty cheap as well. Nightclubs are very cheap compared to what we could pay in France. Um, Also, as one time we were in uni and a guy came from nowhere and saying like $20 I give you like a bus limousine and you go to a nightclub with bottles and stuff. We're like okay, and we didn't know if the limousine were coming. And next thing you know, you like 15 minutes after there's like a limousine down the building, and we went. And it was really fun to do. There's a lot of speakeasy also. I don't know if you like speakeasy, but like hidden bars around the city. I've done one like there. So yeah, if you like partying, of course it's good. Also, Las Vegas is not so far. I loved Las Vegas. I went twice. Really cool. It's very special. It's good for 2 days, but it's not good for a whole week. Don't go for a whole week. Also, you end up work. Um, and last but not least, sports. If you like sports, so when I was there, my now wife made a surprise and bought tickets for an NBA game for the Lakers. And honestly, one of the best experience I've had. Crazy, yeah, ambience. Yeah, people were very crazy about it. The team lost, but people were still crazy about it. And yeah, Los Angeles is known for two big teams, the Clippers and the Lakers. So if you get to see one of the games, it's amazing. I've done baseball elsewhere, but I didn't like it. I've done it in New York, and it's very slow. So unless you like baseball, don't go see the baseball game because it's very slow. It's kind of boring, honestly. Football games are fun, and sports is very big into the US. I think in the US, I think you know that. You can go to any bar in the city; they will show like NBA or also basketball for from a university, which is really big there. And and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, the idea of the talks was just to focus more on activities and more compared to like seeing, I don't know, uh, it's kind of obvious, but it's not the same as visiting Los Angeles as it is to visit probably Rome. There's a lot of buildings to see, history. um, in Los Angeles, you just want to enjoy good activities. There's so many stuff to do. I've only shot a couple, but I love to walk around neighborhoods and see, like, I don't know, yeah, how people live and things like this. You can go to don't go to every neighborhood in LA. It's not it's not a good idea, as I said. But if you want, I can share some more. It's a really cool city, and I honestly, I'm might be biased, but I honestly don't always know why people love SF so much compared to Los Angeles. But if you want to talk about it, we can have a chat after this talk, and I'll be here all day. So yeah, thank you, everyone.
So the question is, does anybody has any question for Arthur regarding Los Angeles? Est-ce que tu as des questions? J'ai pas l'impression. To that, you could check on the Slack because there has been a lot of GIF going on, you know, on the on the chat. But there is. I've got one from Yogo. The question is, would you work or live in LA or the US in general?
Good question. I was supposed to talk about it at some point, but I forgot. But I love the US. It's just that every big city in the US, it's either it's the best city in the world if you have money, or it's the worst city in the world if you don't have money. Um, it's honestly terrifying when you walk in some streets. There's so many people struggling, and there's so many people living the dream. So I would say if you have a very good job, yeah. If you don't, probably avoid going in the US because you will end up probably pretty sad and yeah. Um,
Uh, okay, so we've got a question.
The question: do you plan to go, and if yes, go back to LA or try another city?
so the
Arthur,
question was
just
to
yeah.
yeah, the question was to would I go back to Los Angeles or would I go to another city if I want to go back to the US? Um, I went back a couple times, but discovering other places. It's a very big country, and there's a lot of different landscape to see. Um, I don't know. I would probably never live there. I guess. Um, my wife hates this city, so I'm not gonna live there. Probably she will win the discussion for sure. Um, but for example, I love New York. New York is one of my favorite places. Um, don't really like Florida. Um, and yeah, if you get the chance, I went last year to Yellowstone. It was one of my wife favorite places to visit someday, and I was like, meh, not sure. And it was really cool. It was really amazing. There's so many wildlife. We've seen like 10 bears. We've seen so many stuff. We've been horse riding. We felt like cowboys. It was pretty cool, honestly. So yeah, even if I'm talking about the big city, there's a lot of cool uh, countryside to see there. More authentic than Los Angeles, which is very fake, to be honest. Um, Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I like when people smile at me when I go shop something, even if it's a fake smile. I'm just like that. Yeah.
About fake, there is a question. Did not feel. Does Los Angeles feel like a fake city, or did it feel like a fake city to you, or cardboard style? You know, just like only for taking
Yeah.
pictures and sightseeing.
I guess some places in the city feels like they like it, especially now that we have social media. I was like plenty of people taking pictures in front of some walls, um, because there's a nice painting or whatever. Nice neighborhood. They look like it's fake because usually it's very clean. It's very all the trees are very nicely done. Everything is perfect, so you feel like you're in a in a movie scene, for instance. But I wouldn't say that it's a fake city. It's a weird city because there's not that much buildings, so that's why the city is so big. There's houses everywhere, and so it's very strange. It's more like there's some towns inside the city. Um, it feels a lot like it. And yeah, if you're in a rich part, it's all beautiful, all nice. People drive nice cars. and when you go down a little bit in the city, not the same. Real life happens, and yeah, I, I went to wash my clothes in a like a laundry shop in a not so nice neighborhood, and you see like how people are struggling, and yeah, it's not cool.
And we've got one last question, maybe apart if we've got some here in the auditorium, but I'm not sure about that. So we've got one last sorry on the Slack. Question is, as a French guy, any good or bad perception about, I don't know, stereotypes on French people in the US?
Okay.
Any specific experiences, sorry, on this?
Um, Strangely, not so much from American guys. Um, yeah. Uh, well, the French accents is still a good point for women. Uh, I don't know why, but it shows up every time. And yeah, other than that, no, not so many stereotypes. Honestly, it's very cliche. I didn't put it, but people don't know where France is on the map. So you show up, you say, "Yeah, I'm from France." "Oh, you're from Paris?" "No, I'm not from Paris." "What?" And then you show them up and you say, "Yeah, where is Paris?" They show you Belgium. "Yeah, good one." So yeah, it's not so much.
To be fair to us, Belgium to Paris is not so far.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
it's a few hundred kilometers. So
yeah.
to us, it's to them. Sorry, it's really close. So
Yes, it was a good guess for this one, but thank you.
okay, so thank you very much, Arthur, for the presentation.